Hello, everyone. Welcome to Much Review About Nothing, the podcast where we review a movie we haven't seen through cultural osmosis or what we can find on the internet. I'm your host, Billy Greer.
And we're your co-hosts, Jake Greer and
Luke Greer.
Okay, so before we start today, we have some like house cleaning issues or things we need to go over.
Right, so a new segment, which we kind of did last week, which is Introspection Corner, where we talk about the podcast as a whole, what needs to be changed, and or concerns or criticisms. And if we ever do get a following, this is where you guys can come in to leave suggestions we might read out and things to that effect.
Just feedback and things.
Yeah, because this is our first podcast, so
Always need feedback.
It's our first time recording anything. Basically.
Yeah,
They don't need to
so
know
the main thing that we need to talk about this time is an ending. We don't have an actual ending. It's mostly just kind of faded out and just kind of awkwardly.
That was part of the joke. I was kind of doing that on purpose.
Well, if we want to keep it like that, but
I mean, it doesn't matter. We
I
can
love
just
awkward
say,
endings. Just kind of go, oh well, that was something.
I guess the main thing is we just need to plug our socials and then end awkwardly. I'm okay with that being a joke, but we just now that we think we're
Now famous.
going to be more secure, we should just plug our socials and then fade out awkwardly. Just kind of. We can continue the joke.
Or we'll just, at the very least, I would like to say, this has been, Much Review About Nothing. Thanks for listening.
That's pretty much all I wanted to bring up. Does anyone else have anything they want to add or fix?
So I've been bringing this up periodically, but we need to explain what we're talking about because this is
Audio?
this is an audio medium. And you can't see what we're doing, so if we're reading something or we're referring to something in the trailer, we gotta say what we're referring to. Otherwise,
Come on, Billy, they can see with their ears.
I want us to do better at that because I'm afraid we're gonna have to edit certain things because it's just too hard for anyone to understand.
Right.
And then I don't know if we should kind of explain how the podcast works, the structure,
table of contents,
because. Basically, what happens is we first start off by watching the trailer for the movie, and that gives us a basic idea of what the movie's about. And then we kind of discuss it and extrapolate. And then we go on to our next section, which involves amazing articles. We read articles, rando reviews, read reviews, and pop-up parental guides, which we have sometimes. And then after that, we give our final review. But what's more important, the crux of the podcast is, depending on what we find, what we can ascertain, we give the movie pros and cons.
Right. Things we glean from reviews or articles.
Yes.
And,
And all those factor into our reviews to a certain extent.
Right.
So yeah, that was all I wanted to go over.
Yeah, I think we're ready to start the podcast, which we are going to do Robin Hood. Robin Hood. Now, which one, you ask? That's a very good question because there's about 1,000 of them.
I hope it's the one with the fox. That's my favorite.
Robin Hood 2018. The one that came out not too long ago.
Is he a fox?
The one that I wish. The one that I literally had forgotten about until you came and said, "Hey, Billy, we should talk about that Robin Hood that came out 5 months ago." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that was a movie that existed."
See, I didn't even realize it came out 5 months ago. See,
I only knew that just now when I looked at the trailer.
You can already tell it has a strong presence already.
Yes, it came and went as quick as possible.
I find it sad though that there's only two representations of Robin Hood in pop culture that people know: his anthropomorphic fox form and the parody one.
One of the articles I have discusses that, so we're going to talk all about that in the future.
Before we get into the trailer, I just want to say that when I first saw the trailer in theaters, because we do go to the theaters sometimes to see movies. Not this one, of course, but sometimes.
We haven't seen this.
I thought this was the Thief movie. from video
Yeah.
games. I thought it was going to be an adaptation just because the color of his clothes. I was like, wow, this is a terrible adaptation of Thief. And then Robin Hood came on screen. So when I first saw the trailer, I didn't even realize it was Robin Hood at all.
Yeah.
So take that for what you will.
All right, starting the trailer.
Alright, well, we just finished watching the trailer. And, that pretty much sums it up. I mean, there are a couple of observations I made. Let's go to Billy first so we can go around.
I was just gonna say, like, you brought up Thief. I mean, to me, it strikes me as just that type of video game where it's like vaguely medieval, but not, and it's kind of mixed with the future, but it's not.
Yeah,
and,
well,
It's a, what is it called?
is this a good time
What, how do you call
to...
it? Anchorism? An heuristic stew?
and shoot, and I forgot the word. I forgot the word.
Is this a good time to get into that, though? Did you have anything in future, or... Because I did want to talk about that. That is one of the things I noticed. Mostly just from...
we don't have to get into it now. Anachronistic, that's the word you're
Anachronistic,
Yeah,
yeah.
it
It's a
slipped my
big
mind.
old anachronistic stew, whatever.
Anachronistic.
Anachronistic.
A majority of the trailer is a training montage,
Right.
you know, which
Not necessarily anything wrong with that.
no, but it's good to see a training montage.
I mean,
They're
it's
a classic,
cheap,
yeah.
but, you know...
I just like how in the trailer, majority of his training is shooting arrows at, I guess is that Little John that Jamie Foxx is playing? It's Taron Egerton as Robin Hood just shooting arrows at the guy training him. I thought that was funny. It's such a weird training process.
Yeah, I mean, usually, like, you know, with arrows, proper, or bow and arrow, proper form and things to that effect, you know, just
Yeah.
as a start, you know.
Why not shoot targets? I mean, I don't care who you are. You're not going to be able to sidestep an arrow. Am I crazy?
Not typically, no.
Yeah.
But then again, these aren't, I wouldn't really call anything in this movie, from what I've seen, arrows or anything like that, because they're a little bit different than how they work in real life. And we'll
They're movie arrows.
Movie arrows, is that
they're
what you
even
mean?
much so in Robin Hood. So in Robin Hood, this kind of came up in random reviews when I was curating it, is that arrows and crossbows are guns basically in this.
Oh, really?
To a large effect, yeah.
And that's
Okay.
another thing. Europeans never had the repeating crossbow. That's strictly a Chinese
All
invention.
right, Luke, you're gonna get tired of this movie because you're like,
It's not medieval. It's this weird,
Yeah, I know,
just
but
gray
that-
pudding of medieval
And that's
influences.
it's just no no respect to the time settings. It's all like a big gray. The colors. It's just gray.
Yeah, it's very dull. to
And
look
two,
at, but
they're his merry men. Do they go to they hide out in a forest at all?
no, I don't
know.
think he really
There's no
has.
forest. They're always in the city. There's no
So it-
Sherwood Forest.
So no like
This
changing
is the more
locales.
edgier Robin Hood.
Edgier.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Edgier, snarkier.
So we're moving on to our next section, right?
yeah, amazing articles.
Today I have an article from the Daily Beast, written by Kevin Fallon.
joy!
This is not a positive review. The disastrous Robin Hood reboot. Hollywood robs you of your hard-earned money.
So we're gonna get a lot of burglar
We can
puns in
give
these
that
articles.
pro to Robin Hood because he is robbing a lot. He's robbing in show or
Oh,
in movie.
yeah.
He's robbing out of show. Robin Hood is robbing.
And it fits his motif because the people who go to movie theaters are normally upper middle class and everything. So he is
Yes.
technically robbing from the rich.
The rich of today, I guess.
Yeah.
Technically. So as we're doing now, we're putting down a pro.
right, because Robin Hood is doing as Robin Hood
robbing.
does,
So it's
He's robbing.
It's metatextual robbing.
Yes.
It's
which is why it's really a super pro. It's not worth 2 points, but we can call it a super pro. It's got
yes, the super pro. It's a
I mean, how many
pros.
thieves do you know that can metaphysically steal your money?
Not many. That's for sure. He says, what's confusing is why, despite a decades-long history of not a single one of these movies, Robin Hood movies, getting good reviews, that this is the tale that keeps getting rebooted time and time again. Outside of Errol Flynn's and the cherished Disney animated musical, The only legitimately good Robin Hood movie is the one that Lily makes fun of Robin Hood movies. Mel Brooks, Robin Hood, Men in Tights. And that's kind of what I want to talk about. I don't understand why Hollywood is so obsessed with rebooting this franchise.
Well, I have an answer for you. I mean, it's the most obvious one. It's money, because people are probably going to see it, and laziness.
But they never do. That's the thing. They've tried repeatedly.
Then it's laziness, because Robin Hood is an idea that is super easy to do.
I guess.
Because it's already been done 300 times.
And it's public domain.
It is public domain.
But that's probably the main reason. But just at a certain point, just cut your losses. They do this. They did this. This movie is almost exactly like that King Arthur that came out like last year.
Hollywood cannot make
Did you see that?
I did.
There's a movie you saw. Good job.
Yes. But it's like the exact same thing where it's kind of medieval, but it's like real fantasy.
That's what I don't like when they take these, pseudo historical people, like Arthur, and they stick him in this weird like mishmash of medieval stuff. You're like, just stick the setting in its historical place and do stuff with it. It makes it more interesting. You're not constantly being distracted by all the weird stuff they just add to it.
I would go opposite in some of these cases. Like even with this one, if Robin Hood wanted to go high fantasy, at least that's something. Yeah. Rather than...
Yeah, but they're lukewarm. They won't commit to either way.
That's what I'm saying. Is this obviously doesn't do it, but having a high fantasy Robin Hood with magic and stuff like that would actually be kind of interesting.
You don't see Hollywood make too many fantasy movies outside of Lord of the Rings and stuff.
Yeah, because they don't really do very well and they're hard to do.
Yeah,
but
they still do Robin Hood.
I know. That's the thing. They won't commit to an idea. It's like real vague, and
that's what I don't like about it. At the end of it, it's vague, it's lukewarm, and everything like that. It's like pick one: a historical setting or your own crazy high fantasy one.
Yeah. So it's Robin Hood, King Arthur. Periodically, there's a new King Arthur,
and that's another thing Hollywood cannot make movies based on British mythology and folklore. They fail every time.
Well, I mean, they used to be good at it.
Well, back in the day,
Camelot, was a King Arthur, and then also the horror, the old movie monsters. They tried desperately, the Dark Universe. Them. They're always trying desperately to get movie monsters back in the limelight. I don't know. It's like this triumvirate of these old things that have kind of gone by the wayside, and yet they're desperate to get it to work, and I don't know why.
Like, the issues with this is that normally these movies are not written and directed by very talented people. Normally it's just your
at the end of the
Joe Schmo, because
just you're working at. I don't even know who directed this.
At the end of the day, these are just easy cash grabs using a recognizable public domain name to rake in a few bucks.
That's my point. They don't make money. They have it for a while.
Yeah.
And yet they desperately try to.
Dude, does someone own the rights to Robin Hood? Because the only other reason I can think that they would want to keep making these movies is to hold on to the copyright. Because that's what some companies will do. They'll hold on to a copyright, and when it's coming up, when it needs to be renewed, you have to use it. Yeah. That's why they keep making the Fantastic Four movies.
But it should be public domain, shouldn't it? I mean,
that's what I'm wondering. Because why else would they keep doing it otherwise to hold on to a copyright?
So the director is Otto Bathurst. I haven't heard of him. He directs a lot of TV. And I guess we shouldn't say that these people are untalented, because that's kind of mean.
Okay, but that's not what I don't think that's what I meant. But you're not going to... I don't think... Unless it's a passion... Or maybe I'm wrong, but it just seems like such a...
Well, yeah, I mean, like, the point you're probably trying to make is, like, no one working on this really cared.
They don't believe in the movie.
Right, you're not going to get some veteran working on
paycheck.
Robin Hood or anything like that. That's what I mean.
But that's the weird thing, because they had Guy Ritchie. He directed that King Arthur movie that came out. Did that come out in 2017? I think it did. And Guy Ritchie he can be a very good director.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe my point's invalid.
Yeah, that was last year. Okay. No, I see your point, and I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
So what's the other article you got? I mean,
so this other one is actually positive. This one's from Variety, written by Owen Gleiberman. An action-heavy, retrofitted for youth Robin Hood shouldn't work, but it's more honest fun than the Kevin Costner or Russell Crowe versions. Which I have seen the Russell Crowe version. I didn't hate it. It was okay. It was just kind of like something to watch. And then I haven't seen the Kevin Costner one. I think I've seen part of it, but I haven't watched all of it.
You saw part of it.
I think I started watching it on Netflix, but I didn't finish it.
Oh.
So I don't know what that says about it. So yeah, lots of praising the actors, which is amazing because I can't imagine.
None of the acting in the trailer that I saw really stood out.
No, it's all
to
just
me.
really, oh yes, I'm so cool.
And that's another thing that irritates me. Is all this? It's just like every single person in these movies is all like overly snarky.
Everyone's snarky.
Everyone's snarking and shooting off one-liners.
Yeah.
It kind of deflates the tension.
Yeah, but that's kind of, I guess you could call it the Marvel effect. Everything has
I was
to be
wondering
funny.
that.
That's right.
Everything has to be a joke.
Do you think they were
everything-
trying to create a Robin Hood cinematic universe?
They're trying to make a cinematic universe.
Well, when we get to
of everything.
rando reviews, we'll talk about that a little bit more.
So yeah, let's see. Beyond that, the movie treats Robin Hood as a 14th century Dark Knight, a mystery Avenger known as the Hood, with Robin of Locksley as his Bruce Wayne alter ego. Which I kind of like that idea. You know, why wasn't this more in the future? If they already kind of want it to be in the future, because I mean,
they have like a medieval casino.
Yeah, because Ben Mendelsohn, he's wearing a suit. He's just wearing a suit, and everyone's kind of else wearing.
Well, that's what I want to talk
medieval
about.
clothes.
Like they're wearing our clothes. Like,
Yeah.
like in one shot, it looked like he was wearing jeans or cargo pants, and another they were just wearing regular T-shirts.
It looks like they're all wearing
long-sleeve
hoodies.
T-shirts.
Yeah, it's-
Some of them are wearing hoodies.
It's
Like,
too much effort to costume in a period piece. Just get suits and cargo pants and
so
stuff.
I just love that medieval casino because no noble back then was going to go to a casino. They all going to go out in their forest and hunt. That's what they all did.
I guess so.
But like, yeah, they needed to
I think gambling hall
pick
became a big
something,
thing.
high fantasy, anything. But like,
Yeah. Although I guess if the problem is if you move Robin Hood too far ahead, he just becomes Green Arrow, basically.
Yeah,
for the most part.
Yeah.
Even with the redistribution of
I
wealth
think
thing.
DC would start suing at that point.
They would
Yeah.
probably.
Maybe this is their way of getting around that. We'll stay in medieval times. We'll make it as modern as possible.
basically.
What it should be is Robin Hood way in the future, sci-fi Robin Hood, where he has like this mechanical, like technological bow.
There we
That
go.
would be interesting. At least to be different.
Yeah, I mean that's really it. That at least from the trailer, which we haven't seen the movie, so we can't make any sweeping judgments, even though we're going to.
No, we are absolutely going to. And so back to the article. The masses of poor folk Robin is fighting for are like something out of a YA dystopia, living in the dark, squalid midst of the mines they toil at each day. Now that's only important because it kind of struck me as a YA version of Robin Hood.
It's got Hunger Game vibes, doesn't it?
Yes, exactly. The casino. I thought Hunger
Well,
Games.
listen, you
immediately.
got a young adult, spunky, snarky hero. Got his hot
Well,
girlfriend.
I mean, Katniss is not spunky and snarky. Katniss
What?
didn't want to be there. She didn't want to be in her
No,
own book.
I said I was talking about Robin Hood. He was
Okay.
always like, yeah,
Yeah.
maybe you'll catch him and all that. Kind of snarky, sarcastic. And you have his hot girlfriend, and you have like his older.
Maid Marian, I'm assuming.
Yes.
I'm not sure which one was Maid
Yeah.
Marian.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's not Jamie Foxx, but I
I
don't
think
know.
it was the lady next to him at the casino.
Okay.
And
But,
then and then he has his adult kind of mentor figure, and he's fighting against the evil guy who sits in his high tower, and he goes, "Oh, look at all these poor people."
What do you say? Like they're not my they're not my people. They're my subjects. So it's like really just like
Yeah.
on the nose evilness.
Yeah,
I just-
I'm a bad guy. If you hadn't noticed,
But
that's another thing. These movies also, I think, would probably benefit from a more compelling villain instead of just having the guy who's like, "Yeah, I'm evil. I'm gonna conquer the world or get the super weapon or whatever."
Yeah, someone more.
Maybe
with
more a little nuance and stuff.
like Thanos. But I am tempted to give Ben Mendelsohn a pro for that suit because I love that suit. I love how he's dressed like that. He's sitting in like a carriage at one point. But I don't know. I'll leave that up to you guys. So far, I can't think of many pros or cons.
Well, that's this movie
well,
doesn't.
Maybe con should be
You
just.
got this movie.
Oh, I thought of a con. Never
Oh,
mind.
okay.
what is it?
The con is how
Oh.
non-committal
Yeah, because
the
it's-
setting is, or I don't know how to phrase it. Do you have a better way of
Yeah, non-committal setting. Like just
possible pro for Ben Mendelsohn's suit?
yeah, that one. But here's some. These are just.
I don't know how to spell.
I'll just go to some article headlines if you don't mind, just because I thought these were interesting.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So we kind of have a throwback. Could Mortal Engines be an even bigger box office bomb than Robin Hood? So this is kind of current stuff, really. This is 3 days ago.
We're talking about all the bombs.
Right, because we reviewed Mortal Engines as well.
Yes.
The second thing I wanted to bring up is that Robin Hood steals from the rich, robs you of 2 hours, and Robin Hood, all this anarchist outlaw, robs of your time. So Robin Hood, again, I think we should really give a couple of more points to the Robin Hood.
More points?
Because he's robbing money, he's robbing time.
He robs time. Time robbery in Robin Hood.
Time robbery. And again, we're back to, like the Grinch, headlines that are robbing or stealing, the obvious headline.
Every review stumbles across like the one thing they can use, the one like pithy tagline is robbing or stealing, because the Grinch the Grinch was also stealing.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
We have a lot of kleptomaniacs running loose in Hollywood right now.
In a way, Robin Hood, and I realized this as we were preparing for this episode a little bit, because we do some preparation.
Yeah,
some.
You may not notice.
Then I get to the article and I can't find what the credit was trying to
But this is basically a
bookmark.
combination of our first two reviews. We fused the Grinch with Mortal Engines, and we get Robin Hood, which is really just amazing how this all worked out, you know. And hopefully this will make sense.
And don't you know that Robin Hood is sexy looking?
But it brings up the next point. Who's sexier, the Grinch or this Robin Hood?
Yeah, it's right. We'll have to put them side by side, I guess.
Are you kidding? There's no competition. It's always the Grinch.
It's always the Grinch.
It's the Grinch. So I think that's a con, not hotter than Grinch.
I don't know. It's both.
Another double con? Yeah. Or is it just...
Okay, we can't keep putting the Grinch in our pros and cons.
Okay. And also there was
this The Grinch steals our pros and cons. Yeah. There, we got ourselves an article title now.
So, this doesn't have anything to do with our movie, but I like this headline. Lamborghini driving crypto advocating Robin Hood arrested after cash falls from Hong Kong sky.
So we had a real life Robin Hood?
I don't know.
Or is that the movie?
No context for it, but I just like that headline.
Is he driving a Lamborghini in
I would see why
Hood
not. You know, he's wearing... good clothes.
That's what this Robin Hood movie should have been. It should have been a modern Robin Hood driving a Lamborghini who steals Bitcoin.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Boom.
He just sits at his computer all day. He's just, that's the modern Robin Hood.
So in this movie, I'm hoping there's like a carriage Lamborghini chase.
That'd be
awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know how a carriage would keep up with a Lamborghini. Maybe they have like 45 horses on the front.
I mean, have you seen
super horses?
Well, have you seen a Lamborghini handle? I bet you, like 5 minutes into that race, they're gonna flip that Lamborghini and crash it. They don't handle real
run
good.
Into a cart or the side of a peasant's house.
So, because I guess we can get on to the next segment, which this isn't going to be a long one, but in lieu of popping parental guys, I have tantalizing tags. So these are tags.
Tantalizing tags.
These are
tags
that have been added to the movie. So the last three are the most important, but we have action-packed, fun, epic, must watch, boring, fresh, and predictable. So these are voted tags.
How can something be action-packed but at the same time boring?
Exactly.
I don't know.
So these are user voted tags, obviously.
So there's a little bit of a disagreement there.
Right. So boring, fresh, and predictable all in one, which, take it for what you will.
I guess it could, action-packed could be boring. I mean, there are some action movies that even though there's like explosions and stuff going around, you just kind of sit there going, oh, when's it going to end,
So I figure we'll go on to rando reviews.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
So the first review I have picked out is by a user named Alex, and they write, I really enjoyed the movie. I rarely write reviews, but had to add when I saw the negative, illegitimate reviews. So I think anything negative is illegitimate, unfortunately.
We can't keep
Listen, there's only one
run our show.
Listen, there's only one thing illegitimate here, and it's not the reviews.
I went for date night.
What is it? You?
What?
No, okay.
It's the reviewer.
I went for date night, which my boyfriend wasn't too interested. And after the movie, he said, one of the best movies I've ever seen in the theaters in a while. Then he thanked me for convincing him to join me. Actually excited to watch again, and spoiler, there are hints of a second movie.
Oh no. No.
Which I don't think
it's happening either. But so boyfriends love it, apparently.
Yes, boyfriends.
They love Robin Hood 2018, apparently.
Alright, here's the next one. We have a review by Eric. Where to begin? Ridiculous plot, completely stock characters, boring enough to catch a nap. Which I just want to bring up is another through line from our other reviews. It seems like a lot of these, like I said, more than just combined with the Grinch, a lot of these you can take a nap in. Seems to be a common thing.
Listen here. I don't know where he's from, but many Americans don't get enough sleep per year or anything like that. And I'm glad to see Hollywood stepping up and making sure all of us get all those hours that we've missed staying up late.
Now,
making boring movies.
Now, as opposed to the last one, he did take a nap.
He did take a nap.
So, whereas we had a reviewer last time who said you could take a nap but didn't take a nap. This said you could take a nap, and he did. The story is shaped identically to the Star Wars model.
Everything's Star Wars.
We can't escape from it.
F. Murray is a Sith Pope who loses one acolyte and gains another, while Obi-Wan...
Did he say Sith Pope?
Yes.
Okay, well, we found out they're pro. Sith Pope.
It's a Sith Lord.
So Sith Pope and Lamborghini carriage chase, which...
could or could not be in the movie.
Yeah.
I'm very sure it's a carriage chase.
Your mileage will vary with that one, depending on if you see the movie or not. Which hopefully you didn't see the movie.
So if you didn't, that's the best part.
Yes. And gains another, while Obi-Wan, Robin Hood, wields his special bow in the name of something. Jamie Fix is a one-armed sidekick. It's a one-armed sidekick who's sort of an Arabic martial arts expert who trains Robin Hood for like 10 minutes. Now he's a hero with mad skills.
He trains him by letting him shoot at him repeatedly.
Bellini.
Until he almost kills him.
Bellini?
Bellini?
That's what he ends that segment with.
What does Bellini mean?
What is that, like a magician too?
Is he Italian? Is that why he says Sith Pope?
Bellini.
Is he Italian? Is that why he said Sith Pope?
Who knows?
I don't know.
And the costumes, Raffle. Check out the fake silvery faux leather duster worn by the sheriff of Nottingham. Also, early in the film, there are scenes of Robin Hood as part of a combat unit in the desert somewhere, with these vests made out of sticks, along with headgear that makes them look like modern-day U.S. Marine knockoffs running around with longbows. The list goes on. Stupid weapons, king's soldiers, and modern-looking riot gear. One guy had a baton. Too funny. This could wind up being a cult classic. Oh, and is it me or does Maid Marian gain a ton of weight during the film? It's just kind of,
wow.
That's kind of a backhanded comment to Maid Marian. Save your money or smoke about 6 fatties and have a troll fest. So,
wait, is he British?
6 fatties?
Yes.
Okay, because...
I'm assuming that's a drug reference.
Okay, we have to cut this, but that's not what it sounded like you said.
Yeah, I was about to say, wait, is he British?
I don't know what I said or what you thought I said.
We're not gonna say.
Okay,
I don't know what
that's good.
Our British audience.
Okay, so Maid Marian has the ability to swell up spontaneously.
Well, that's just normal.
I'm not sure if that's a pro.
Maybe she's just stressed out from robbing, that's risking his life. That she just
she put on a lot of weight.
She's nervous eating because it's like, oh no, Robin Hood is out there, he's gonna die. Oh no. So over the course of the movie, you can see how even though Robin Hood's a hero, you can see how his actions affect his loved ones.
So the big question I have from this review is the character played by Jamie Foxx Jamie Fix?
I was wondering about that. Is Jamie Fix what he goes by when he's working in his plumbing job, or he's like, I'm Jamie Fix.
No, that's the character who trains Robin Hood, Jamie Fix.
Oh, so Jamie Foxx is playing Jamie Fix.
I think so.
That's weird. They're kind of
lazy. A little weird.
That's a con. If you're gonna, you got to come up with a different. You can't just change your actor's name slightly and then pass that off as the character's name. Jamie Fix.
Bootleg Jamie Foxx. But
it's not even really bootleg because he's almost Jamie Foxx. So we only have two. This movie has a lot of pros, surprisingly. We haven't had many cons.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess you could say the movie itself is a con. So
I want to talk about Robin Hood potentially being a U.S. Marine.
Yeah, what was that about? See, this movie desperately wanted to be in modern day.
It wanted to be in modern time,
but it couldn't quite get there, so it got stranded in between the two time periods.
And that is a kind of a through line for the Random reviews. If they're criticizing it, which they're illegitimate, don't forget.
They're all illegitimate. Well, I went by IMDb here, and I was just wondering what their goofs were, and there are some anachronisms.
Oh.
According to IMDb, the set shows St. George's Cross in abundance, which was only used in the British Navy during the reign of Prince/King John and not adopted as a flag until a century later.
Oh, but that's a con.
Yes, that's a con.
I mean, every
George's
Tom,
Cross.
Dick, and Harry knows that. I mean, everyone knows that they British flag.
The next one is particularly damning, and we haven't discussed this at all yet. Much of the weapon technology and clothing featured in the film does not match what was available in medieval England.
What, you mean the repeating crossbows from China?
Massive understatement.
You were hung up on that crossbow.
That was just an example of one. Glaring.
And then the final one, the hoodie Taron Egerton, Robin Hood, is wearing in the movie poster used for promotion purposes is machine stitched in an era when there was no machines to stitch hoodies.
What?
Robin Hood probably didn't even wear a hoodie, but we'll not get into that. That's what it says that. I didn't make that.
Robin Hood probably wore a Gamison.
So yes, this movie is not accurate at all. So it's not only non-committal, I think inaccurate is a con.
Yes.
Highly inaccurate. They didn't even get the cross right, the St. George's cross.
Right, and
it's super
corroborating
important.
this is Cookie, a reviewer. A lot of the technology didn't exist. They're acting like it's medieval Desert Storm with running around. It's machine gun arrows. I fell asleep after that. Woke up to find the sheriff going on with what sounds a lot like the political rhetoric. Excuse me. Okay, yeah, I don't need to remind the real world when going to movies to escape it for 2 to 3 hours. Which, those 2 to 3 hours, they were robbed from him.
Yes,
don't forget that.
Robin Hood robs time from you. He's a time thief.
I would have left, but my friend insisted we stay because we already paid for it. And let's talk about the clothing and setting. After a while, I figured this is some alternate universe where nothing matters and we gotta mesh everything in.
I love how it took a while for them to figure that out. But in the trailer, Ben Mendelsohn comes out in his suit, and I'm like, well, there's something wrong here.
But hey, I'll give it 2 stars because young Chris Pratt and Jamie Foxx are hot. So.
Young Chris Pratt?
I don't know who he's referring to.
Chris Pratt is not this movie. I can guarantee
Maybe he is. We didn't see it, so how we know?
He's in the background wearing like a hood and a mask.
Put that as a pro, young Chris Pratt.
Okay, I'll give it a pro for Chris Pratt.
Everyone loves Chris Pratt.
I was just wondering if the fact that the arrows are bullets is a pro, because that sounds pretty cool.
Machine gun arrows?
Machine gun arrows.
Yeah.
Sounds kind of lame, actually.
Well, fine. I guess we don't have to make it a pro. I thought it was cool.
We keep giving this movie pros over stupid things.
Well, I can't help it if it's a good movie and it was just treated unfairly by the cruel critics who don't like anything.
Which were illegitimate, remember.
And they're all illegitimate.
Maybe the movie should have been about medieval Desert Storm. That sounds more interesting.
No,
it's just a Desert Storm operation, but medievalized.
With the machine gun arrows.
Machine gun arrows.
I'm putting it down personally. You don't have to put it on your list. We got all have different lists that we went to.
Here's Susan, and I think she brings up the most
Susan.
Important point. Never have I seen such senseless violence against coats, jackets, and hoodies.
Not the coat.
If you could stand to see perfectly good outerwear slaughtered, then go for it. I like a well-defined villain, and Sheriff Pinky Ring is great.
Sheriff Pinky Ring.
You know where to stand with him.
Wait a second. I have a quick question. Is Prince John in this movie, or is it just the Sheriff of Nottingham?
I don't know. I didn't see. Was there a king in the?
Well, he's not a king; he's a prince.
Whatever. He
I don't know. There might be some reviews.
Sheriff Pinky Ring is the best name I've heard in a long
time. I love
time.
that. Sheriff Pinky Ring.
Well, it doesn't end. The writers tried to muster up some sympathy and make Sheriff Pinky Ring more three-dimensional with a broomstick monologue. Muster any sympathy? I could not muster. The broomstick part is creepy. I don't know. It's just creepy. So I don't know what she...
Apparently the broomstick scene is that a must-see scene because of how weird it is, or is it like is that a con?
I don't know.
Well, I'm intrigued.
Sheriff Pinky Ring.
You
I'm
know
saying
what?
that's another pro. Sheriff Pinky Ring in the Broomstick Monologue.
I think it's great.
Listen, let's just make a movie about Sheriff Pinky Ring and his magical broomstick.
Or progressive metal album, apparently. Okay, so yeah, I'm running out of room for pros. They've got off the page. Sheriff
This
Pinky
is
Ring-
already becoming a legendary Oscar-winning movie.
I know, I'm kind of disappointed I didn't see this movie. Sheriff Pinky Ring and the Broomstick Monologue.
It sounds like a German
And
street.
so he's no longer the Sheriff of Nottingham. He's Sheriff Pinky Ring.
Forever
So-
be Sheriff Pinky Ring.
This is a review by Lewis. Now, it's 3 weeks ago that this review was made. And I make this distinction because the movie's been out, 5 months, 6 months?
It came
Well,
out.
the
no,
trailer. No, that's not right. I
It
messed
said
up because I
November.
realized I saw the trailer. The trailer was released 5 months ago.
Oh, so this
It
might
came
be
out. It
accurate.
came out in
Yeah.
November. That's what the trailer said. Coming out in November, like
Did it come out in
17th or
November?
21st. But it came out near the end of November. That's what I
Okay,
saw
then
the
this
trailer.
might be accurate.
Oh, this movie is more. I still forgot about it, and it's actually. Is it still out?
I don't know.
Listen, this is a movie about a thief, right? That's good. Thieves are not supposed to have any presents. This movie didn't have any
I
presents.
guess he's an even better thief than we thought.
So, this movie is going to be Amazeballs, and I can't wait to the Amazeballs movie. And that's the review.
So he's reviewing him. He's stealing our idea. He's reviewing a movie he doesn't see. That dirtbag.
Yeah, you put more effort into it as well.
So, but it was 3 weeks ago. When did this movie come out?
Like I said, it came out near the end of November.
Well, other people are actually reviewing the movie, and they're from 3 weeks ago.
Okay, so
Maybe he wrote that before I went to go
What?
see it.
why didn't he just go see it then? If he was clearly planning to, anyways.
I don't know.
He want everyone at IMDb to know that
I
he
don't
was going to see
understand
it.
I don't know if this is IMDb.
And I want to know. I want to meet this person who gets excited over this kind of movie.
I know. I wish I could have that kind of joy in my life. To be honest, I'd give anything for it. Brought the room down with that one, I guess.
What? I'm trying to find
what can you
something.
say about that?
Yeah.
You know,
Well, I like this one. It's by Dimitri. It was certainly entertaining. Started out Call of Duty Bow and Arrow edition, then
Yeah,
switched to
this is
this
a-
complete nonsense. I honestly forgot what I was watching halfway through the film. So maybe Robin Hood just stole memory from his mind.
Yeah, it steals your time. Remember, so
Yeah.
there's this big black hole in his life that you can't remember.
this is until we brought it up. I didn't know how prevalent this would be, but because it doesn't have a set setting, people will get horribly confused. They don't know what
Yeah.
they're watching. They don't know
Yeah.
They don't know what's going on or anything. When you bring in Call of Duty Desert Sandstorm with bows, people are like, "Well, what movie am I watching?"
Yeah.
That's why you need a nice, solid setting.
With that said, the music was fantastic. I mean,
The music.
The music has the generic kind of orchestra Hollywood thing going.
well, when you can't think of
I don't know
anything
what-
good to say about a movie, you usually compliment the movie.
Like
Yeah,
you either compliment the music or the special effects.
Yeah, that's kind of the thankless task that composers have. If they're doing their job right, you're not really thinking about it.
Yeah. Good for sure entertainment. Just don't go in expecting a traditional Robin Hood film by any means. Suspend your disbelief and you should be good to go.
Oh.
So.
Okay, so another pro. If you suspend your disbelief, it's a good movie.
Yes, but you might forget what you're watching halfway through.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
you-
another thing.
No, the movie has failed then because a good movie makes you automatically suspend your disbelief. You have to make a conscious choice in the middle of the movie to
guess that's true.
suspend it.
Yeah,
It's not really good.
Before you go in, you have to prep yourself.
Because
You're like,
when I went in and
no
watched,
matter what happens.
yeah, when I watched Star Wars Episode 4, we'll go back to Star Wars, but I don't have to sit there and go, okay, there's no space wizards, there's no giant Death Star or anything like that. I guess guys suspend my disbelief and enjoy the movie. It just automatically happens,
No, a good movie, it requires prep work. You must get your mind in the right spot before you watch it. I mean, there is something to be said about that, is being open and willing. I always try to be open and willing before I, see a movie for the most part. But,
Right.
But it's really hard because I'm super pretentious, and I've been wounded by so many bad movies in the past.
Right, but
I'm a
I mean,
broken man.
Yeah.
I haven't been the same since Suicide Squad.
That was a movie that stole your time, your money, and your soul. Was
I
Suicide Squad.
wish I had done the podcast on Suicide Squad and never had to go see it.
I'm afraid not. You've seen it, so it's been
Yeah, it's
spoiled.
disqualified.
I've seen it.
Yeah, two of us have seen it.
Ah, here it is. So I found this other review, and it's by John. Well, at least my girlfriend paid for the ticket, so I've got a conspiracy for you. What if Alex and John
Oh
together,
my goodness, this is the boyfriend.
mixing inaccurate history, casting the church rather than King John as the power behind the sheriff, and dispensing with Sherwood Forest
Made the
entirely,
church? Are you kidding me?
was brave.
Wait.
Mediocre acting, an Irish Marian, a black Arab Lil John Minner, and an absence of merry men. Not to mention a plot. Just made the whole thing a confusion of style, substance, and loud bangs.
Did you say the fact it was a plot made it confusing?
Yeah, I think you're saying the plot made it confusing.
So an absence of merry men, not to mention a plot. So absence of a plot.
Oh, absolutely.
Wait.
No married men.
Wait,
There's no married men in the Robin Hood
Right,
movie?
there's no Sherwood Forest either.
Well, it's like they made Robin Hood and they didn't put it in the right time frame, the right era, and they didn't
marry men or
they didn't even put in the right setting or the right. There's
Wait, did he say that the church was backing the sheriff?
yeah, so the church is evil this time.
Well,
Yes,
the
which
church-
we won't get to that.
The church
but-
is always evil.
yeah, the church is always evil.
So let me get this straight. There's no Prince John.
If there is, he's not important.
Right, there's only the Sheriff of Nottingham. That was the Sheriff of Nottingham.
Okay, there's no Prince. No, just for all intents and purposes, no Prince John, no Sherwood Forest, no merry men. Is this even Robin Hood anymore?
It's Robin Hood almost in name only. It's
Well,
like
It'd
it's
be-
got the bare minimum
It'd be
stuff
like
to be
a
Robin Hood.
Batman movie without the Batcave,
Yeah,
without Alfred,
yeah,
and without Commissioner Gordon.
yes. It's barely Robin Hood.
Why did you... That's why I thought it was a Thief adaptation. 'Cause
Yeah.
It doesn't look anything like Robin Hood. But yeah.
So con, it's barely Robin Hood.
Yes,
it's like,
I think that's a really big
It
con.
stole Robin Hood's identity.
Boom! It comes back around. It's just,
yeah, it stole his identity and then turned into a movie.
we're saying the movie stole the name Robin Hood.
Yeah, that's what I meant
yeah.
to say is that like the movie stole not only time and money, it stole the very premise it's grounded on. It's revolving around.
Which, can you even call that a con? No. I mean,
Yes, I'm calling
it is
it a
the
con.
greatest thief ever, really. It's so
apparently.
far, it's stolen one material thing, one meta material thing,
A bunch
and
of
then two
concepts.
immaterial things, which is a name and time. So,
Yeah, that's just a bit disappointing, really. It's just like
Well, to be expected. The moment you see the trailer, you get a bad feeling about it.
what cracks me is like, did these people not see the trailer or anything like that? Because if you saw the trailer, you would know right away that the costumes, the setting, and all that instantly.
Yeah, I don't know. Some people don't watch trailers, which I can't imagine being that person. I gotta watch the trailer.
I think that's it for random reviews.
Yeah, I
we've
think we've
covered
done.
quite a bit. I think we should get down to kind of our closing points, unless someone has anything.
I was thinking about going through Twitter, but we've already done a lot of reviews. I might save Twitter for future movies.
That's fine. We can always delve into.
I just like this one tweet
There you
by
go.
from Kayla. Oh, the picture! I didn't realize it. The picture is this lady with Jamie Foxx. I didn't realize
Is it?
that.
Is that Jamie Foxx?
That's Jamie Foxx right there.
Oh, okay. Well, hey.
So that makes it. This tweet makes a lot of sense. It says
No, wait. Jamie Foxx wasn't in this movie. It was Jamie Fix.
no. It was Jamie Foxx playing Jamie Fix.
Oh,
so Jamie
okay.
Fix
I was confused.
trained Robin Hood, apparently. All right, so I just want to do a reading of this tweet. I love it. It says, "Now I done told y'all," and I'm gonna read it exactly like it is, with the ellipses and everything. Now I've done told y'all that I was seeing winky sly face. That is this movie again, right? Pointy hand. Well, I meant what I said. Thumbs up. And said what I meant. Okay, sign. I'm fitting to see it again on Tuesday. Smiley face. Right before my babe, I am Jamie Foxx birthday. Smiley face. I can't wait once again. I love you, Jamie Babe. So he felt like a Jamie Foxx super fan. I just love that.
Is it a Jamie Foxx super fan, or is that like?
Or is
Does
it
this person named no Jamie Foxx?
I don't know. They might know him personally. I don't know. I just found it, and I loved how it was written, and I couldn't resist reading it.
It is a good review. Question mark?
She said she was seeing
Yeah.
it again.
Yes.
I noticed a lot of people were going to see it again in those reviews Jake was reading. And and then that's another sign of a good movie. Because what else was seen multiple times is a good movie?
What?
The Room.
Yeah. Not Room with Brie Larson, but The Room with Tommy
That's in the
Wiseau.
reviews that they see it multiple
I
times.
said I read one other person said they were going to see it again.
Well, you know, if they are, it's partly probably because he robs your time from you.
So you forget.
So you forget. So that's why he's got so much money. He robs your time and then he gets your money again.
Man, what a racket he's got.
Okay, so every time we do this, my pros and cons looks like the ramblings of a madman.
I gave up, so...
It is the ramblings of a bad man.
Okay, so I think I've covered most of it. We can add more to it if we think of them. So, but this time I think I'll start with cons.
Yeah.
Okay, so the biggest one, and the thing that tripped up a lot of people reviewing it, was the non-committal setting. The wishy-washy gray, we didn't really have an idea for where we wanted it, so we took a bunch of different things that didn't really go together. Jamie Foxx's character's name was just sheer laziness. It's just indicative of the entire film.
You just can't do that.
No, you can't. It's
Lazy.
And how inaccurate and anachronistic the film was. Like they got St. George's Cross wrong. It shouldn't have been there. There's no stitching. Lots of the clothes and stuff.
They were in Medieval Desert Storm. It was confusing a lot of people. They were not sure.
Although Medieval Desert Storm is arguably a pro.
Yeah, but that's not the focus of the movie.
Yes.
Right, so that would be the problem. Is that you could have one, but...
And the final major con is it's barely Robin Hood. It's like a soup, and there's like 10% Robin Hood and 90% filler.
Right.
Just random garbage.
It stole its name, basically.
Yes, it stole its own name.
Which gets us right nicely into the pros.
Yes.
For sure.
So, meta robbing. I didn't know what they
Right,
call
so
it.
meta robbing was the fact that robbed money in the show, robbed money out of the show, just robbing everyone.
And that's kind of grouped together with time robbery and...
the name robbery. Which we've had a con, but
yes.
you know.
So, kind of a half pro for Ben Mendelsohn's nice silver suit, which is also kind of adds to the whole anachronistic thing, but he looks good in it, so I'll give him a little half pro.
Right.
Boyfriends love it. You got a boyfriend? We got on good authority that he's going to love Robin Hood.
Especially if you pay for the ticket.
Yeah, you got to pay for the ticket.
And this one I forgot, which I love. Sith Pope.
Yes,
I just love that word.
The Sith Pope.
This would be a band.
Yeah.
Then this one, as we discussed, you get more mileage out of it depending on whether or not you've seen the movie. Lamborghini carriage chase. If you remember, there's like a carriage with like 45 horses, so it can keep up with this Lamborghini that's tearing along.
Right.
You know, I can't guarantee it's in the film, but I'm pretty sure.
We theorize it's in the film.
Yeah, if that headline is true in any capacity, it's probably in the film. And Chris Pratt. So who doesn't love Chris Pratt? Young Chris Pratt. So I guess if they meant Taron Egerton, he doesn't look. He's blonde, first of all.
Well, what if it's an Easter egg? Like young Chris Pratt, he's in the background. You know, he's just
it was like one of his first films. He filmed the footage a long time ago, and they finally slipped it into the movie.
No. They added him. He's in the background. They de-aged him. He's just
they
like
de-aged
waving.
him digitally. They
Yeah.
all that money. Okay, and Machine Gun. I'm leaving the best for last. Machine gun arrows.
Yeah.
So kind of a cool concept. Probably really redundant and stupid, but I like the idea of it. I like the idea of them just firing off.
Imagine kind of an oldie Gatling gun with arrows.
Try to imagine his weapon. It just looks stupid.
And you know, it's got like the.
I won't lie. I just get this.
It's got the bandolier type thing, you know, over the side, and it's just shooting arrows really fast. You know, it's awesome.
And the final, to me, the best pro we've ever had, Sheriff Pinky Ring, and the Broomstick Monologue.
Perfect. It's perfection. Those hills sing, all right? Those hills sing.
It really makes you question a lot of things, you know?
All right, and with all that in mind, although we've probably forgotten a lot of it, what are our reviews, gentlemen?
Well,
what movie are we reviewing again?
I don't know. I feel like my memory has been stolen. My
time
time
is
is
gone.
vanished.
Wasn't there like a Call of Duty section?
Our podcast. We're only at 5 minutes. What? Where did our time go? Robin Hood, curse you!
but anyways, getting back to the seriousness of these reviews.
Yes.
The main crux for me, and why I'm not going to give it a really high review, he's not higher than The Grinch. I can't do it. It just, I have to give it a really low score.
Which is beautiful.
I'm giving it a 4.
A 4?
I'm giving it a 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, historical moment, the lowest score we've ever had.
I can't do it. With all the... It's got some great pros which bring it up, but it probably brings it up to like, you know, really high, 70%, but then The Grinch comes along, woof, 64%, or what did I say? 66% is gone, you know, whatever. So
I mean, I can't fault you there. I feel like we're not gonna see eye to eye on
And
this
not to
one.
mention
But
the Grinch is the better thief. I mean, he stole an entire holiday. What does Robin Hood steal? Money?
Money,
Well,
time, and
he stole
name.
things that you can't technically steal. Time and, well, I guess you can steal a name, but
Steal a
like
name,
he
but-
stole an entire premise and got a movie made about him. The movie I'm talking about is probably better than Robin Hood. But did you want to go next, Luke, or did you want me to go?
I mean, this movie, I mean, the more I think about it, the more and more I come to despise it.
Okay.
Or just to become incredibly disinterested about it or whatever, you know? It sounds like, to me, if I were to watch it, it would be the most boring, most apathetic thing. And for me, a movie that does that is not a movie. So I'm giving this one a 1.
A 1? Holy cow! Okay, I am going to be the minority here. I'm giving this sucker like 80%. Simply on Sheriff Pinky Ring and the Broomstick Monologue alone.
Yeah, but that's only one scene. If that was the entire movie, I would have
That-
given it 100.
Okay, yeah, but this is apparently a chilling scene amidst,
But that's where my 1 point went to.
and there's a Sith Pope, and there's Chris Pratt, and there's machine gun arrows. There's a Lamborghini carriage chase apparently
Yeah, but
that I
those-
didn't make up completely.
Yeah,
This-
but none of those are pros to me.
I went into this podcast totally disinterested in this movie, and our discussion here today has made me want to at least rent this in some capacity and see all these wondrous glories that the internet has laid out for us.
I'll just watch the clips on YouTube for free
Well-
for half the time.
We have our average, folks. We have 28.3 repeating.
28.3. You guys ruined the score. This movie was so good. I didn't
don't
see
know.
it, but it was so good apparently.
I just can't get over it, man.
Me either. I just cannot work up anything.
All right, well, let's see how we stack
feel
up
nothing.
to Rotten Tomatoes. 16%. So I was a little off base.
We were actually higher.
But,
We gave it a better review, a better score than Rotten Tomatoes.
Yes.
And
Which is fair, I would
Despite
say.
everything.
the audience gave it a 46.
What
So
is wrong with people?
all jokes aside, the critics are right and the audience is wrong this time.
Well, the audience is semi-right because they still give it a pretty bad
Yeah,
score.
that
Below
is true.
50 is pretty bad. Like,
It is pretty bad,
you,
but
like you have to be
but
pretty
I
bad.
mean they must have missed Sheriff Pinky Ring and the Broomstick
They
Monologue.
all-
'Cause
they
I
all-
can't believe
I
anyone
think-
who
and
saw
Sith
that.
Pope. I
Yeah.
mean,
Maybe they all just fell asleep.
Well, see, there were people falling asleep, so maybe they slept through
Okay,
the
here
most
I think
epic
we have.
scene of our lifetime.
Listen, I think we have 3 groups of people here. We have the first group that came into Medieval Desert Sandstorm, got confused, wondered if they were in the right movie, got up and left.
Mm-hmm.
The second group, people fell asleep and they missed a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And the third, the people who actually stayed awake for the entire thing.
and
Yeah.
their time got stolen, so
Yes,
they have
so-
no idea what
So they're
doing.
still seeing the movie. They keep going back. They're just stuck until it's not in theaters anymore, I guess, and then they'll keep buying
What a
it.
cruel fate.
Well, that
That's
about
our review.
wraps up.
So yeah, so great movie apparently. Little flaws here and there.
Little flaws.
Okay, well, major flaws, but I'm pretty sure that
I think our score was fair. 28.3 repeating.
Yes,
I
yes.
mean, think about it. The 3 repeating, unlimited possibilities. You know, it could technically it could be higher than that, but
Yeah.
3 repeating, unlimited possibility. It goes on forever.
If there's ever a sequel, the blood of directors and producers are
I don't
flow through the
get
streets.
the point,
of
but
Hollywood.
honestly, I'd love a sequel at this point.
I
That's
mean-
just free content for us.
yeah, I mean, I would love to see where Sheriff Pinky Ring what he gets up to. In the
Yeah.
I think he
sequel.
dies in the movie.
Well, I mean, that would be a horrible mistake, you know.
Yeah. All right. Well,
I think we're done here.
Yeah.
If you'd like to stay in touch with us and give us feedback, you can check us out at Twitter at MuchReviewAN.
by the time anybody hears this, we'll be on iTunes. You
Yeah.
know, we'll get.
We're hopefully going to have a YouTube soon. I haven't set it up.
I don't know how Spotify works. Maybe Spotify, YouTube. We'll put our episodes there. Just you know.
Yeah. Oh, and if you, I'm the only one who has like social media. If you'd like to follow me, I'm at BD_gruesome, and that's all lowercase. If you'd like to follow me personally. So I think that's it.
Right.
This
Yeah.
has been Much Review About Nothing. Thank you for listening. I've been Billy Greer.
I've been Jake Greer.
I've been Luke Greer.
Bye.
Bye.